Yes, part 7 it is of the Revell Platinum Edition Queen Mary 2 build. And what we've got in this build is, in this video, will be mostly taken up by painting. So if you watched the previous video, you will see I've done the red hull, which is here. All that is painted, and it's had a good 4 days of drying, so that's all finished like that. Now what I've done is I've masked along here, because what I'm going to do now is paint the white, which is along the top, all along the top here. The overspray won't matter because below the white will be the German grey. All this is just to protect any overspray that may come down onto the hull. That's our red. So I've taped that all the way around on both sides. You can see just a garbage bag pretty much. I couldn't find any newspaper, but garbage bag's doing the job. So I'm going to go and paint this now. It's now Friday afternoon. I want to see how much I can get of this done over the weekend. The previous video comes out on Monday mornings. That's my time. This one may come out as an extra rather than, I know they come out weekly every Monday, but this one may come out as an extra somewhere towards late next week. All depends on how much I get through this. Otherwise it'll just come out as part 7 next Monday. Alright, so yeah, that's it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint this. Now I have noticed that there is some parts up on the back here on the inside that will need painting as well. Most of this will be covered by deck areas, but there are sections that will need the white on there as well, so I'll just paint all that white, no problem, all the way around there. I'll give that all a go with the airbrush white. The same in here as well. The top of here on the inside, I'm pretty sure that's going to be covered by superstructure, but it won't hurt to give that a bit of white in there as well. Okay, so that's it. I'll paint this now, and then that way first thing tomorrow morning I'll be able to look at doing the dark areas, or the German grey area. I'll give it a good chance to dry overnight, and I would probably leave this on, although I didn't put this on so that it's not actually touching the red, so I'll have to redo that, but that's no problem. Alright, so yeah, I'll be back shortly and we'll have a look at this when it's all done in white along the top here. Okay, back soon. Okay, hello, welcome back guys. So I've got the ship hull, the white part, all painted and drying. There was just a little bit of a touch up where I noticed a little bit of red overspray from doing the hull, so I just touched up a little bit. So I'll leave them for another couple of hours, in fact probably for about 4 hours, before I consider thinking about masking any of it up. So in the meantime I've come back to these, which sit inside. These are all the balconies, and as you would have seen in previous videos, I've cut some acetate, which will be, there it is there, and I'm just sticking those in behind there so that the glass sliding doors that lead out onto the balconies will actually look like there's glass in them. And I've got one stuck down there. I went testing all my glues, and it turns out it would be just my normal Loctite CA glue is the go-to, and all I'm doing is just touching a little bit all the way along there, and yeah, that's staying in place. And this piece I'll just glue to this end and then just trim off for the excess down there. Just a small tip, if you cut these out and have them sitting around like I have on the other piece there, you'll find this one in particular starts to get a bit like, you know, it's not so clear anymore, it's got dust on it, it's just from handling it, probably fingerprints and everything else. The best thing I find to get it looking like this one that I've done, nice, shiny and clean again, is just water. Just dab one end of a bit of cloth, just make that damp, run that down the strip, dry it off with the dry end, and it looks as good as new. No more dust, nothing. So that's what I've done before I stuck that down, and now I'm going to stick this one down and then do it to the other side. Okay, that's it. When we come back in a second, I'll have the hull back out here and we'll have a look at the white, gloss white that I painted on it. Okay, back in a sec. Okay, welcome back again. And here we are, we're having a look at the hull where I've done the white paint. So it's really only 2 window lengths down is what's needed. The rest will be taped off where the German grey will be from there down. But you can see that there is a gloss in there. You can see the shine there. There you go. So the gloss whites come up really nice. This ship is so big. There you go, you can see the gloss on there. So that's perfect. And of course, be careful on the other side too. Yeah, I can't get the shine on that. So what I'm going to do now is move this down a little bit so it covers where, well, below the line of the top of the decal that will run across there, because that's where we want our German grey to start. And then up here I need to do, I'm using Tamiya paint. This is 5mm wide tape. So what I will do is, there is actually a line there which makes it quite a bit easier to do, and I will run a length of tape marked along that line where I want everything below that to be grey. And then after I put that layer of tape on, I'll get some thicker tape like I have the same one here with more plastic and run it along that Tamiya tape, and that will cover any overspray of anything on the top. So yeah, and I'll run that all the way around. I think that the bow of the ship, get right down here, so where the bow is, that is actually almost, I think, is 5mm. So running the tape around that and masking that off should be fine. I won't need to add any more. But again, I don't want overspray, so as much of the plastic bag that I've used in the bottom I can put over the top just to stop any overspray going up there. Yeah, so I'm going to get onto that and get this all ready for more paint. Oh, and if you hear my phone in the background there, that will be Ron video just been uploaded for me to watch. There it is. So I'll go and watch that now as well. Back shortly. Okay, welcome back again. So I've got it all masked up here. You can see, just got to be careful because there's not many spots to hold it by, but that's where I'm going to do all the German greys, all the way along, all the way. I've got it masked all the way around the back. No problem with overspray. The lines are nice and tight. Everything's down good. So this will be the scary part. So as I said, German grey, I'm using SMS. This will be using this, it's an acrylic lacquer to put on there, so should be good, I hope. It's the same acrylic lacquer as what the red went on for the lower part of the hull. The only thing that isn't acrylic lacquer is the Tamiya white, gloss white. Well, actually, it wasn't even Tamiya, that was Mr. Hobby. Gloss white that went along the top. Okay, so off to get some paint on this. Wish me luck. We'll be back when we have a look at it. Cheers. Okay, so it's been a few hours since I painted it, and show you there it is there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take all this masking off. It's dry enough to do that. I don't like leaving masking on any longer than I have to. So I'm going to take all that off, and we'll come back and have another look at it. Okay, back real quick. Okay, so that's all the plastic bags off. All I've got now is the just a bit of the yellow masking tape that I made to make the lines nice and neat. So I've just got to peel that off now, and hopefully we'll have a nice nice finish, eh? Alright, back again, real quick again. Okay, so I'm feeling fairly confident. I've taken the end off there and it's come up nice and straight. And what I want to do now is just peel this back, and we'll get this line along here. Be able to see it's coming off nice. This is the most important line, because the other one will have a decal cover up any flaws in it, because the decal sort of goes across both the red and the black there. So, but this needs to be perfect, and so far so good. Coming off nice. It's a long ship. Try and get it all in for you to see. I don't usually do this part on camera because it's pretty nerve-wracking. Take it all the way around. It's good. Do the other side. Let me just straighten this back up. Let's come up along here now. Very nice. Like I said, I only painted this about 2 hours ago, so it's nowhere near dry, but I'm very confident. We're almost there. There we go. And beautiful. All right. Can't see it, but I'm smiling because that's come up really nice. Look at that all the way around there. It's nice around the bow. Sorry, the bow. The front. Yeah, the bow. Come up nice. All the way down. Very good. So I'm going to put this back outside on my balcony to dry some more. It's a really nice sunny day. It's actually quite warm out there. And then we'll have a look at it again. I might throw a couple of photos up there as well. Of course, I've still got to put the clear coat over this before I put any decals on. So I will be doing that. I'll give it, well, maybe tomorrow afternoon. It's Saturday now, so maybe tomorrow afternoon I could clear coat this and then give it a good 2 or 3 days to dry, and everything will be going quite good and on schedule. Look at that, very nice. All right, I'm happy. Back shortly. Okay, hello, welcome back. So it's the next day, and I've, as I said, need to put the clear coat on, which I've just done this morning. So I've used a Tamiya semi-gloss clear and sprayed it, and it's come up perfect, really nice. I'll put a picture up and have a look at. It's actually drying out there on my balcony at the moment. Now I'm going to give that a good solid 2 days before I touch it, because the next step on there is putting the decals on, and I want to make sure that that has set, that clear coat is completely set, because there's still a lot of work to do on the ship and a lot of moving around. That's why I put the clear coat on there, just to give that extra protection of the paint, because I've still got to handle the ship a lot. So anyway, while that's drying, and while you're looking at that photograph of that nice shiny hull, which is, as you can see, really nice, I'm moving on to balconies, my favorite. Now, a couple of videos back we did the lower balconies that go attached to the hull. This is the balconies that go on the superstructure, which I previously painted and clear coated. And like the balconies down on the bottom section, as you would have seen in the previous video, I put the clear plastic behind it to give the doors a glass look reflection in there, and I will be doing the same for this. But before I can do that, these all have to be painted like the other ones were. So I've got my XF78 Tamiya paint here, which is already thin, that I used doing the other balcony floors, and I'm doing these. Now the difference, as you'll probably notice, is the masking. So these balconies, because they're more exposed and you'll be able to see them, there will be clear balcony, what would you call it, the glass that runs along the balconies, that all has to be added. But where I've masked up, as you can see on there, closer there, that part has to be white. So all these outside areas here need to stay white, but the floor of the balconies in there will be the brown I'm going to cover and paint on there, which means I have to mask them. So what I have is I have this 5mm Tamiya tape, which turns out one strip of that will get me 4 strips of the width I need on those, below those balconies there. There we go. So what I do is I lay a piece out. Now these ones I didn't do long enough, but I was just testing. The other ones I can actually follow right as long as I want. Probably go up as far as here and then start another one. So it shouldn't take long to tape up all these outside bits white. That way when I get in there with the brush and hand paint in there, nothing's going to get on that outside where it's supposed to stay white. So I'll be able to touch that up, go through all the balconies, let it dry, come back, do the second coat, do all the balconies. Somewhere in one of those videos I mentioned how many there were. I think it's around the 500 mark, so just a little bit repetitive. But this will keep me going and give the hull a good chance to dry, and maybe I'll have all this done before I tackle the decals on the hull. Once again, that's a plan. So yeah, I'm going to go along and I'll tape all of this up, and just to protect the bottom ones as well. They can take some thicker pieces to go on there, because that's all got to stay white. So the bottom balconies, I'll be able to paint them as well, and get them all done. Alright, so I shall continue on with this, and we'll be back to you guys shortly. Okay, welcome back everyone. So what we're looking at here is the completed hull, all painted up, and I've just put in a strip of LED lights, as you'll see there, placed where they're going to be along the bottom of the ship, to get an idea of how these portholes and window areas are going to look. Someone mentioned in comments about where I taped off behind all these lights, and I didn't let the black area go on there, and they were concerned that the light might go through that. So as you can see along the ship here, there it is there. Now, where these small holes are here, there is a bit of a glow coming through the hull. You can probably just see there as I come in close and get that to focus. But the larger windows up top, they're fine all the way along. And these ones all in here, they're all good. But there is a bit of a halo effect showing through the hull, where I've got, as you can see on the other side, all white. But if we go look along the whole length of it, it's looking pretty good. It's about how bright I want them to be. So what I'm going to do is, where there is a bit of a halo effect coming through on some of these, which you tend to notice more in the camera than, so this is the daytime here, I've got the light off. If it were nighttime, you'd see a bit more of a glow around the holes, which I don't want to have happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to light it from the opposite side, and I'm going to come in with some black paint and just fill in the white. I think that if I'd have painted over these areas, these wouldn't be as bright as they are, and I think they're perfect as they are, so that's good. So what I will do is fill in the gaps between, so that there's no light bleeding through the hull itself. But that was a good point made. You can see it there. You can see there's a bit of light coming through around the outside, through the hull itself, rather than just through the holes there. So what I'll do is I'll just fill in around those little portholes with some black. Whether or not I use my Posco pens, you would have seen I mentioned those in the other video, or just touch it with some black paint on the inside, won't matter, whatever's easier. You can see there's a bit of a halo effect, you can see, because really all I want is the light coming through the portholes, of course. But anyway, that's how it's looking at the moment. Just come back and have a look. Looking quite good. The colour has come up really, really nice. Let me just turn this light off, the LED light off in there, and put some external lights on. I'll be back shortly in a sec. Okay, so there's our paint job as it came up. A nice finish all the way along. Really, really happy the way it came out. Just turn this over. A nice red underneath there. There's our thruster on the closed side, whereas the other side they're open. And yeah, came up really nice. I'll just turn it around. We'll have a look at the other side. Sort of need two hands, but it's okay. Right. There you go. came up really nice. And of course the decals will go on here, which is what I plan to do next. Like you saw, I started painting the balconies of the main superstructure up above. I'm still doing that. It's taking a bit of time. I've still got to do half of one more side plus a second coat of them all. This I will be putting all the decals on, and that will, well, I think I said it was going to be in this video, but I think it'll be in the next video. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how we go. Now that I know I've got a bit of touching up for light, blocking some of the light, I'll probably spend a bit of time doing that as well. Yeah. Okay, we'll come back and have a look at it. I'll do a bit more progress. Back shortly. Okay, welcome back. And I painted some more of these balconies on here. Just the one coat is on there. Still got the bottom row and a few at the end. Or maybe not. Oh yeah, there's another row to do yet. And then of course another coat. I've done the other side. But it needs a second coat as well, which I'll do. It's now Friday afternoon. If you're watching this video now, it means that I did manage to get this uploaded, because what's happened is yesterday afternoon in Sydney we had a pretty big thunderstorm. They even said there was a cyclone or a tornado or something, which I've never heard of before. But anyway, what happened was I was sitting here, or actually I was watching Netflix, and the sky was clear. We're in the eye of the storm. There was no wind, no rain. There was this huge crack of thunder right outside my window, and then lightning just went bang, and Netflix went off, and I thought, oh great. Anyway, walked over, looked at my NBN router or modem or router or whatever you call it, wherever you are from, and it's flashing a red light, not working. Anyway, I made a few phone calls and reported it, and they're going to do what they have to do. I don't know, check the lines, whatever. Anyway, I went to work today, the next day, because I woke up this morning and the red light was still flashing, so it wasn't fixed. I get back home now this afternoon, and it's still flashing and making a ticking sound. Nothing's changed. No internet. So I rang them, and they said they got my call, they escalated it, they haven't heard back from the NBN provider yet. And when I asked how long it usually takes, they said between 24 and 48 business hours. Well, that messes me up, because 24 business hours has gone by, but the next 24 business hours will be on Monday. It's only Friday now, which means I'm most likely not going to have any internet over the weekend. What I'm going to try and do is, and if you're watching this now, then it worked, use my internet on my phone to connect through to my computer to allow me to upload this video for Monday morning. So I'll be calling it quits here. That'll be enough for this video. You know, we got quite a bit in. I know I was going to do the decals, but I'll definitely do that in the next one, because I won't have any internet at home all weekend. That's going to make things a bit boring, so I've offered to go to work for the weekend, so I'll be working all weekend anyway, so it won't matter. So yeah, that's the situation. So hopefully my internet will be working all next week properly, and things will be back to normal. And I'll have my Netflix back, and I'll be able to access my YouTube. Alright, so again, thanks for watching. Please, if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Hit that notifications bell so you get notified of all the videos as they come up. If this is the first one you're watching, there's a whole series. We're going back. We're in part 7 now, but it goes back to part 1, which is the unboxing, and then starts with part 1 on the playlist. Give us a thumbs up if you like the video, and please comment below if you've got any comments. I'm getting some really good comments later from everybody and some good advice on a few things. One of the latest things I got was from Jason from Modelkit Stuff, that I'm getting a lot of help from building this model, who is actually doing the railings on these of the balconies. We'll go into that in the next video next week. I'll have a look at that. I've not decided if I'm going to go ahead and go into that detail. There's some balconies as part of the deck of the ship, on the lower rooms, cabins I guess, that have little railings inside there, but they're not actually part of the kit. Whether I want to go the extra effort of adding that detail, I'm not sure yet. We'll see in the next video. Alright, so thanks again for watching, and keep those comments coming, and we'll see you soon, and we'll be here for part 8. Alright, cheers, bye for now.